Hello.
Hello and welcome to the MetaPop Podcast, Pokemon TCG podcast that revolves around the evolving meta. We're here for Worlds, the World Championships 2025 in Anaheim. Both Sean and I are here.
Yep.
Sean is also 7'3". Hope everybody, audio listeners, you have no idea what's going on. But Sean and I are here live. We're actually doing a live recording at Worlds on the Saturday. So Sean, real quick, just how are you doing?
I'm good. It's much less humid today, which I know you're very happy about. Jake has completely lost all of his ability to deal with heat and humidity after moving to Vegas.
I grew up in the Midwest for 25 years, and so humidity is not new to me, but I think the 2 years that I've lived in Vegas have destroyed me because I have been miserable in this weather. It's so humid, our hair is just wet when we wake up, somehow, some way. But Worlds has been a fun time. It's been cool.
Yeah. I'm going to give everybody a throw. Jake, check to make sure it's recording.
It is recording.
Okay, good. Okay. I'm going to make everyone who is watching dizzy, and then we can just walk.
This is going to also be for everyone who's curious, a walking pod. We're just going to be walking around outside in the World Championships. So especially if you're an audio listener, maybe you want to see a little bit of Worlds. Head over to our YouTube channel. The link is in the description below because for anyone who doesn't know, we upload on both YouTube and Spotify at the same time. So we're going to see how our multitasking is this episode. But
if the real ones out there might remember my interview with Ethan Heggie from Tokyo, where I was walking around the streets of Akihabara. And that one was actually pretty cool because it was at night, so you see all the lights.
Yeah, it's like a whole new country.
So this is another special episode.
Yeah,
where we're walking around the World Championships.
Another special area. So this episode, because the event is not over yet, it's kind of in the second Swiss round or so of day 2.
Yep.
We don't have final results yet because we wanted to do this as a live recording because this is the first weekend that we've ever actually met.
Yeah.
So
we're in person for this recording. It's crazy.
Yeah, but we'll talk about the results and things like that, especially in Discord. I know some people have been talking, about the data and some of the rounds and stuff like that all through the weekend. So you can join the official Discord server in the link or the show notes as well below. But kind of starting off on day 1, I've got the meta share of data. The most popular deck, I think, to not a lot of people's surprise, was Goldango. Goldango taking up 23% of the meta. Sean, can you guess what the second most popular deck is?
I think I saw the chart. Was it either Dragapult or Gardevoir?
It is Dragapult. So 17.7 or 17.2%, was Dragapult, and rounding out the top 3, as you're kind of alluding to, Gardevoir.
Those are our top 3. Those are our S tier decks on the
I think a lot of people, especially if you watch a lot of content, kind of have the same idea. Do you want to go inside?
Yeah, we got to go inside. We might cut here because we have to go through security.
We're going
Hold,
through
please.
Security now. Actually, I might not even cut it. Just
All right.
But we'll see.
Going through security. I don't know.
The first one and then the second one. So no cutting on this. But
all right.
Anyway, the first 3 decks. If you watch any content creator in their tier list heading into the event, it's no surprise. The 4th place deck, Raging Bull and Teal Mask Ogerpon at 10%, which I honestly am not surprised at either. I think that's pretty good in rounding out the top 4, right? We said a lot of people would probably play Raging Bull, even though I wasn't very high on it.
I will say Stefan Ivanov played Raging Bolt, did not make day 2.
Interesting.
I was very surprised at that too. He was actually playing, I believe it was a Raging Bolt that had a 101 Dusknoir line in it.
Oh, I think I've seen 1 or 2 people play the Dusknoir line. It just kind of fixes a lot of your math. We're going in the venue hall, actually.
Yeah.
I haven't been in this section. This is where all the art displays are, the museum. There's a collect trade center over there.
Yep.
There's a Smeargle statue. Oh my gosh, I got to take a picture with that later. I love Smeargle.
So we can walk y'all through the art gallery for black and white while we do the pod.
And then rounding out the other 2 top 6 decks, it was Grimmsnarl at 4.9% and then Flareon at 4.4%. So pretty good. Do we have to go through this Stan?
Yeah, we can go.
Pretty typical top 6, I feel like. Not a lot of stuff with the. Oh, we have to get scanned in.
Scanning in.
Thank you very much. Have a good time. Enjoy the art. Enjoy your experience.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was interesting. I didn't have to scan in earlier. Keep going.
But anyways, I feel like a pretty typical top 6. I don't think this really surprises anybody. Maybe the biggest surprise is Flareon in that 6th place spot. But when we talk about conversion rates into day 2, Goldango stole the show at like 30%, 29.9%.
Dang.
Goldango. So we talked about how Goldango is a really good deck. And going to be really popular. It looks like the conversion rate honestly has one of the best conversion rates I feel like out of any deck in here.
So Goldango did really well. What else? What else was on the day 2 list?
So Dragapult actually made the top 6 day 2 distribution in 2 different categories. So Dragapult in total took about 21% of the day 2 meta, 16.5% in Dragapult Dusknoir, and then 4.7% in Dragapult Monkey Dory. So
interesting.
Pretty good distribution. I feel like for Dragapult staying in that like top 2-ish kind of spot, and then Raging Bolt, Teal Mask, Ogerpon at number 3. So Gardevoir going down to number 4.
So Raging Bolt wasn't as bad of a play, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, like I feel like I could have said this on the pod. Like Raging Bolt, I feel like is a safe day 2 kind of deck, and so this kind of like confirms that. But one of the better conversion rates I feel like is Charizard Pidgeot making 5th place at 4.7%, making it into that top. So I think that's a really good one too. You know, I think I said a couple weeks ago that Charizard was a little bit on the rise.
Yep.
But I didn't know how well it would perform at the World Championships. I think I kind of backed off of it for a bit. So
I know that Andrew Mahone was big on Charizard.
Yeah, he was really working that deck.
Hopefully I'll also enjoy the art in the background.
Yeah. What's also funny is here too, kind of talking about the event itself in this art gallery, they have a station where it is draw your own Pokemon card. So it's really cool to see like all these people at tables and stuff drawing their own Pokemon cards. And every once in a while, like if you're chronically online like I am, you'll see like people posting some of the funnier ones or better ones that they've seen of those cards. So this area I feel like is really, really cool. I've never been to a World Championships for anyone who's curious, so this is my first experience in here, and it's really, really neat to see all this variety, all this display. You can see like on these cards, they have all the variants of them, of Black Bull, White Flare, which I find to be really, really neat.
Yeah, I will say this is also, when I went to Worlds in 2019, it had almost none of this fanfare. So it's a completely different world for me too. Like, it feels like it's a lot closer to like a really high level IC, but elevated even further beyond that.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about the championships of what World is. It's a celebration of the Pokemon franchise. Not just the trading card game, but the video game and all that stuff. So it's really neat to be a part of this and see all this stuff. And also, one thing that I really liked, because we're gonna rag on some things later. We're gonna be honest with you guys. It's not perfect, but one thing that I really do like is that this area for the museum, for these displays, collecting and stuff like that, this is all like a separate hall from the competition. This is a separate hall from like where the food trucks and other kind of what's the word that I'm looking for, like food stuff is.
Yeah.
It's very well laid out, I feel like. The way that they've spaced out this building, essentially multiple different halls, is so well done, at least from like an event organization perspective that I have.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I really, really like about these championships.
Yeah, there's a lot of space, which is necessary because there are a lot of people.
Yes.
The reason though that Jake and I chose this hall to walk around, because A, you won't have any of the big announcements in the other hall, which we'll get to in a minute. But it's also relatively chill, right? If you want an area to just wander and see, like the area we're walking in now, it has a lot of the competitor kits from previous years. So
you see like the Anaheim one is over here from London, the Hawaii and this year's World Championship bags and stuff over here. And I mean, down there is just even more from previous years. So really cool stuff. I feel like in this hall specifically.
Yeah. So it is nice. There's a lot of cool things to do. In terms of the other cool things to do at Worlds, there is like a pin hunt type thing where they are encouraging people to like go to different booths all around the venue to collect these pins that are unique.
Pins, it's like an activation event kind of thing for anyone who's in like event management. You know, you just go to all these different locations and you fill it all out, you get something like really cool. I'm personally not doing it, mostly because there is long lines at every one of these stations. It's crazy how many people are doing it and how many people are interested, and they've got like 2013 onwards here on the board of like the championship teams and the deck list actually. TCG, VGC, and I think these are all the champions, the different masters, juniors, seniors. For each category. And then like, you know, you got 2016 where you have, you know, the other games that have been introduced and stuff like that.
Yeah, like with Pokemon Go or Pokemon.
I think like
Pokken, maybe the Pokken tournaments.
Tournament, because they did have that at one point.
On the other side here, Jake, I'm gonna take us over there. They have all the World Championship decks back to 2010.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So
we saw a vendor selling World Championship decks for 2010 World Championship deck for $400, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's
like, is it really that high now?
It's so cool seeing all of these though. Like, I have not been collecting World Championship decks, even though I probably should be, because having those like for retro format would be very nice.
Yeah, like I have I have every single, I think 2018 one. I think I have one from 2017, and then the last like 2-3 years I've got all those. And then I've built some of my own, like 2019 Henry Brand, Shintaro Ito decks, the first and second place winners from there. So pretty cool.
So we've talked about a lot of the good things. Oh, and I will also point out, you can't really see it probably, but back there is this like, we can walk over there.
Oh yeah.
There's this Miraidon. It's a little louder back there, but if there's a Miraidon that Toyota Engineering Society created, which I think it is mechanical. I think it moves. I haven't seen it move, but it has like LED eyes, and so it's meant to be like a life-size, if Miraidon were real type thing, which is crazy.
And also it's kind of crazy too, like, you know, they have this where it's Toyota that's made it, which is a huge company, right? If you know cars. There's also an autograph area, like throughout the whole weekend they've had, whether that's different illustrators in the game, like I think Ocheke was here. If you know Ocheke's cards, I think they're one of the more popular illustrators in the last like 5 or so years. And even like creators too. I know some creators are doing like a meet and greet on that, but especially if you're watching the video version of the pod, just zooming in on the Miraidon. It's so cool. This is my first time seeing it on there, and I mean the colors are gorgeous, the lights, very, very nice. Love it.
So Jake, shall we? Do you want to, well, I don't know if we're allowed to just sit in the fan workshop zone.
No, I don't think so.
But shall we wander back out that way?
Sure, yeah, let's go back.
We can talk about what about Worlds maybe frustrated us now.
Oh, yeah.
We've said a lot. And I will say also watching the live broadcast is really nice.
Yeah.
If you've been to any internationals, though, it's going to be very similar, the setup. But the finals this year will be in an arena, which will be the first time that that's ever happened. So that'll be very cool.
It's like a whole other venue.
Yeah, I'm going to stay for that. Jake is on the fence because Jake has to drive.
I don't have a flight that I can just like, oh yeah, we have a flight at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
You know, we're driving. And even though it's very close, right? It's like 5 hours probably. It's still a drive.
Yeah.
There also comes to a point like when you're not interested in doing the pin activation event or whatever. Like I've done one side of it since I've got here, which we'll talk about more about those side events here in a bit. I've kind of like gotten my fill, in a sense, of the World Championships as someone who didn't compete. So
let's get into it then. The thing that you just alluded to, which is if you do come for a weekend, normally, and this is what Jake and I always recommend people do, is like, hey, do the side events. You know, if you're not competing, it's still a lot of fun to do the side events. You can get a lot of games in, meet some new people. You know, it's all great.
Play some games of a variety of formats, you know, like sealed format with a pre-release kit, GLC, standard, maybe some other kinds of things like the Ditto format or the raid format. I think we talked about on the podcast when the raid format was first introduced.
Yes, so you have like a big Pokemon, and then you have a team of 4 players all trying to take it down.
Yeah.
So all of that is here. They do have all of these events, both scheduled and on demand. But the number of people, we probably should, I want to stay out of that area.
Oh, is that the competition area?
That's the competition. Gotcha, just for the sound. But, so this year, they still have all the events, but I feel like the number of people, which I know they're trying to manage with spectator badges, you know, so it's not overly crowded. Like we can obviously, as you can see if you're watching or maybe here, like we're walking around, it's
we're
fine.
We're not like bumping everybody left and right everywhere.
No, but the side events themselves have been, I think, way more popular than I think Pokemon was anticipating. And what has happened is the scheduled events tend to sell out by like 8 or 9 a.m. that day.
Like it is noon right now or so.
Yeah.
And they are sold out of the on-demand events. They have stopped the on-demand events.
And so that's the other part. It's like the scheduled events sell out, and then all of the on-demand events sell out by midday, which, let's go that way. Which is weird, right? Because you think, oh, they're on demand. How do you sell out of on demand?
Yeah.
And then their system this year is like you get to pay for the on-demand events on your phone, which I think is a move in the right direction.
Signing up on your phone and like being able to do that is awesome.
But they still have the old system of you need to like physically go check in to get assigned to your pod. And obviously the problem with that is then you get huge lines of people just waiting in line to get into their pod. And those lines genuinely do take 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you've done 2 standard
I've
pods,
done 2 standard pods.
Which is 3 games, right?
It's 3 games, best of 1. And including the tournament, which is not nothing, I think I'm averaging about 2 to 2.5 hours to get 3 best of 1 games in.
Yeah.
And about half of that time has been lines and waiting to get your pod up and running.
Yeah, I mean, Sean and I also did a GLC pod on yesterday, on the Friday. We did one of the pods. Both went 2 and 2. I started out 2 and 1 with Waylord. It was great, but I forgot about some key cards and what they did. Do you want to walk down that way?
There's some music playing, so probably not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The copyright.
Well, it's just also like these mics will pick it up and
But like doing that pod, it took 4 hours for 4 rounds.
Yeah.
And we didn't really have to wait in lines or anything like that. It's just best of 1 pods, over an hour for each round. So it was like...
It probably took that long too because I will
GLC
say that
is a slower format.
It's a slower format, and it was a huge event though. It was 100 plus people playing GLC, which from what I've heard is a lot, even for like these types of events.
Yeah, like especially when you had multiple pods of GLC, like they've had, I think by the end of the weekend, they'll have like 6 specific pods for GLC. So just a huge event, and you know, so many people again celebrating the World Championships, right? So
yeah.
But you know, Sean and I were talking this morning here on Saturday, and I was thinking because like you know, I see something on the prize wall that I'm close up.
Sorry, yeah.
See something on the prize wall that I'm interested in, and so I'm like, oh, okay, I just completed like 1 more side event and I'm good. Then you know, Sean doing one before, because when did you get here?
Like land in LA or
No,
just
I mean
today?
like today. When did you get to the venue?
I got here at 8 when they opened.
Oh yeah.
I'm an early bird, so I'm always here early.
I am meandering when I like get in. Like I didn't get in until like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Like I am just casually coming in.
Yeah.
But, you know, Sean finishing up his pod and then telling me about, you know, you'd have to wait for this and you have to do that and stuff like that. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need to get more prize tickets doing standard format.
Yeah, it turns into like line simulator. Maybe it's a little harsh. And I do think that they're trying to make it more streamlined in various ways. You know,
they
they're
have the like the new Pokemon app that's come out.
Yeah. And I think you were comparing it to the Bandai app, where like hopefully in the future the goal is to get all of the side events for these big regionals and ICs and worlds done through that Play Pokemon Access app.
Yeah.
Because theoretically you could do both the payment as well as pairings, table assignments, and so that way you don't also have like a person running around escorting people to an empty table. Like, and I will also say what's funny, the payment platform they're using for the side pods, for the on-demand pods, is all open table.
Yeah.
So it's managed. It's managed as if it is a restaurant, which is crazy.
It's funny.
And
also kind of talking about lines, you know, the big conversation of the weekend, the Pokemon Center.
Yeah.
Which Sean and I both did. We did it different days and different timelines. So since you went through the Pokemon Center first and you did it on Thursday, kind of talk about your experience with that real quick.
So everyone, if you've seen videos online, you've probably seen the crazy lines inside where like people have like a bunch of different holding pens basically. Mm-hmm. When I did it, they had not fully organized that. And I will say that everyone was instead waiting outside in like a big jumble, an unorganized jumble.
Yeah.
Granted, I will say I came in on Thursday. I was at the Pokemon Center Thursday morning, so I'll give them some grace in terms of like sorting all that out. But outside of that, it was a bit to get into the line and getting people like out of the way whose time it wasn't. But once I went in, it was mostly fine. It's just the checkout line also took forever.
Yeah, and I think what's also interesting is your perspective of that was way different than mine. So I went on Friday and I went at like 11 a.m. Getting checked into the Pokemon Center was chaotic, but it was also somewhat fluid. Shout out to whoever it was, the big giant guy that was just yelling with the backwards hat. You were an MVP from an event organization standpoint, being on. And, you know, once you got in, you were probably delayed a little bit getting in. Like, I think my 11 o'clock appointment, I didn't really get in until like more towards 11:30. But once you got in, I mean, it was there. Pretty much everything was stock. So like they constantly just replenish stock every day and, you know, multiple times a day. Like I even saw people like, cause I thought there were 2 deck boxes at first, the double deck boxes. Mm-hmm. But then I saw someone wheeling a cart with a 3rd design of the deck box. So I was like, oh, I'm going to follow this gentleman until, you know, he puts it on and then I'm going to grab one. So, and I think the way that they structured it, cause there was really like 2 lines, on day 2 or the Friday of it, to where like you were in a line outside, and then once you got in, they put you in like these sections based on when you got in. There was like an orange group, a purple group, and I think it was like a green or something group. And the way that they were letting people in was, you know, saying, okay, the green group, you can go into this line to then go into the Pokemon Center after you're in this subline. And that's where like, if you've seen pictures of the plushy room or plushy corner where it's like the little crevice cavern in there, and the line is walled with plushies, Pokemon Center plushies. That's like where that area that I'm talking about is. And so once we got in that line, like we just waited our turn, which took probably like another half hour. So I got in like an hour late pretty much. But once you got in, like it was smooth sailing. The checkout line was not slow in my opinion, because it was constantly like filling up, moving around, but even though it was a long line, it did move relatively quick, like for the pace. They had like 10 or so people just checking out, and then there's another station if you redeemed like the lotteries for ETBs. So what I thought was really interesting and really well done is the experiences that I saw on Wednesday, Thursday, you know, from like your testimony and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like getting into the Pokemon Center, it was logistically done differently on like Friday, and I don't know if they changed it up even more on Saturday. So I really like that about the Pokemon Center, even though like they saw what their system was on Wednesday and Thursday, and it was like, this is chaos. And
Yeah.
they're like, something needs to change, which you never like seeing. But I think one thing with event management, and if you've been in the industry for a while, is how you adjust to that. And I think being able to work it on the fly and, you know, make those changes to make it much smoother was so awesome. Like, I didn't miss out on anything that I wanted. I got a Toad Scroll shirt if you're watching the video version of the podcast on Spotify or YouTube, or and like I got the deck boxes. I also got a mug, which I thought was really cool. There was a lot of stuff in there that like I didn't know was going to be in there.
Yeah.
That was really cool to watch and see. Stuff like that. So
Jake was very hyped about the mug.
Yeah, I'm a big mug guy. I drink mug on the pod, mug of coffee from time to time, especially when we record in the morning. So it's a big win for me getting a mug of the World Championships.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I would say, for the most part, it's a very well-run event.
Yeah.
I think I can't speak from a player's perspective because we are obviously not competing. But I imagine it's been run fairly smoothly because they only have, like, in Masters, 800 players.
Yeah, I think from a player perspective, what I've seen, aside from the Pokemon Center, a lot of the players are disgruntled about the Pokemon Center and, like, being able to get priority access and registration and stuff. That's a whole different conversation that I don't have much to input on because I've never been a competitor trying to get in for there, so I don't want to speak too much on that. But from an event run, you know, I didn't really hear about any delays or like...
No,
you know,
nobody was stuck waiting outside. Like last year in Honolulu,
yeah,
for the Pokemon Center especially, there was like hours-long lines outside
I meant like
in the heat.
event itself. Like
Yeah, yeah. I haven't heard anything negative.
Yeah, like, so I think from the actual event being run, if you're a competitor at the World Championships, has been awesome. Shout out to Asher from Oceania region running the Enamorous V in Gardevoir. I thought that was really cool, so I wanted to make sure I give you that shout out for that. But yeah, like from a, and I don't know about VGC or Unite or Go, how those have been going from that perspective, but it seems like Pokemon's kind of got their footing of like these events and how they want it to run. It's not like Bandai Card Fest Nationals where the event started 3 hours late, like round one. So
yeah,
but that's something you want to see from an organization that's been doing this for years and years and years.
If I were to make any suggestion to Pokemon, it would really be like people who are here who want to go with the weekend badge. You really do see everything you want to see within the first few hours. Mm-hmm. And then what's left is vendors and side events.
Yeah.
Or you could literally spectate, like watch the matches, which is fun. But if you want to do side events at a thing like Worlds where you know there's going to be a lot of people, I would really recommend they probably adjust their system entirely to be as much digital as possible for on-demand.
Yeah.
And then expand the number of tables. It's easier said than done, like, you know, in terms of renting out more venue space or not.
I mean, they have a lot of venue space, but you want to be able to put, like, it's a tough balance because you want to be able to put the place that we were in earlier, like the museum, the pin area, the craft area, like stuff like that. The Toyota, you know, Miraidon.
Yeah.
So that takes up a lot of space too.
So, but yeah, I think if they sort the side events for next year such that people can actually go to on-demand and it only takes like 15 minutes. Because that's one thing I will give Magic. I've been to a Magic Con type thing, and side events there, at least the time that I went, was very easy. You just walk into a line, you pay, and then you're in a pod of people within 5 minutes. And so, yeah, you want to play? Cool, you can be playing in 5 minutes. Whereas here, it is really tough because it's like Jake and I are basically now, like, we're not going to try to do any more side events just because we want to hang, we want to play, and I don't want to spend too much time in line.
Yeah,
So,
like I would rather just play like at a random table. I kind of wish that there was just like a casual play area. That's something that we haven't seen because we've talked about this and been at this where like we try to go to a table to sit, and whether we're waiting for like when we were waiting for GLC, we just sat down and we just started playing, you know, and then all of a sudden Pokemon Go came in and they were like, we're told that our pod is here at this table. And I was like, oh, well, I'm out of here. And maybe there is a place and we just haven't found it yet. But that's one thing that I wish. Because there are a lot of people that just casually like are here hanging out with friends. And it's hard to spot.
Yeah, like just finding a table to sit down with friends. Yeah. Yeah. You basically nailed it. Like, honestly, the activity zone that we walked by that I was like, I don't think we can go in there. Like, that was entirely empty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that would be a great spot.
That would be a great place to play.
Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, Worlds has been really fun. Really enjoyed it. I'm excited for San Diego next year.
Is it San Francisco next year?
Or San Francisco, sorry.
Another San.
A lot of Sans.
Yeah.
Sans from Undertale reference. But yeah, I'm excited to go to that too next year. It should be a lot of fun. And Sean and I are actually going to see each other at One Piece Dallas Kart Fest here in about a month. So
yeah.
Another live pod, but at the One Piece.
Yeah, we'll be, I don't know. We'll see how to make it. We'll see what news. I think that's the same weekend as Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, I think it is the same weekend as Pittsburgh.
So maybe some Pittsburgh news there. But I think that's about it. We'll get to the next week after this pod is when we'll actually talk about the World's results. So
yeah, we'll talk about the results. We'll talk about the reveal, you know, things of that nature.
Yeah.
With the nature of the timing of the podcast and when we both leave, where this
is a funky week.
Yeah, this is the best time to do it. So just kind of wanted to do this. And thank you so much to everybody also that's been coming up to us, hanging out, you know, getting some of the shiny play mats from Sean and maybe some Metapods for me with our like signatures and stuff. I've been recognized a ton of times, whether that's actually through One Piece or the Metapod, so it's really, really cool, especially with, you know, the people that we talk to and hang out. Yeah, you guys keep listening.
All right. Peace.
Thank you so much for listening to the Metapod Podcast, Pokemon Podcast, Revolves around the evolving meta. We'll be back.